I have just a few minutes, but I will start with a story, because when this COVID pandemic happened, I was telling people that they should be creative and try and get things to do online, and they should start leveraging on technology. And one of the feedback that I actually got was that, oh, she will say so. After all, she has one school in Ikoyi, she's posh, she has money, and all those sort of things. So it started to look as if I was, well, the assumption was there because nobody has seen my bank account. They don't even know my story. So I said, okay, since people think that way, or some people think that way, what am I going to do? So what I decided to do was to leverage on technology and actually create an ebook. And I actually started to make money myself online during the COVID to prove that it is possible to make money online. Because sometimes when you want to share, people don't want to believe what you want to say until you actually prove it to them. And I believe that for those that are connected to me, if you don't already have a copy of my book, 101 Tips to Curb the Beating and the Shouting, you might need to get that book ASAP. When the mommy calm down thing happened, I leveraged again. I started talking about that book again, 101 Tips to Curb the Beating and the Shouting. People bought that book and people took on coaching services. So people are actually making money during the COVID-19. It is not impossible. So I'll get straight to the point. I would like to share my screen. I hope that it will be all right.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
So
please do.
let me go ahead and share my screen. It's coming up. Okay. Good. Can we see?
Not yet.
Okay.
All right. I need to. All right. That's with your picture. Yes, we have your screen.
You have the screen. So you can see, as you can see the, as promised, I come with a few business ideas. You can see that. Okay, good. Wonderful. So I've had this this conversation more than once. It's on my Instagram, it's on different places, on YouTube channels, everywhere. So we can actually see I'll go through it. So what I started with, as promised, I come with a few business ideas for those who need it, especially teachers at this time. Something to do without leaving the profession, because we still need teachers in the profession. So we don't want to tell them to go and do a job and not be able to come back to the sector, because we don't have enough teachers anyway. We still need more teachers. I think you need to go on mute a bit, ma, because of the backless echoing.
Okay.
Thank you, ma. So we don't want to lose people. So we want to, it's okay, because we have to keep body and soul together, especially as a lot of schools haven't paid salaries, or they're not paying it, or they're paying half, or and all sorts of unique circumstances that people are going through at this time. So I came up with ideas for people. What can they do? So before I start, I need people to understand that there are lessons that we need to learn from this COVID pandemic. What lessons have we learned at this time? And one of the things that I must say is that it is important that we are saving at all times. It is important that we continue to save at all times, no matter how small the money is. It is important that we don't eat up everything that we get, so that when the situation comes, we will not find ourselves in it. Whether it's the COVID pandemic or anything else, we must not find ourselves in it again. So we must learn that lesson. I'll tell you a short story about myself, just to buttress the point. Growing up and starting a business many years ago, I used to work with children as well. I was working in the children entertainment sector. And I was actually working in a bank at that time. I was contracted, I was earning a lot of money, but I was still doing something else. This is to tell you that you can still be doing something else even if you are a teacher, because the situation is very peculiar for us at this time. So I was working in the bank full time. However, I had an online business, which was very successful. I carried it out in the weekends. I used to do children's party bags. I used to do children's parties at that time. So when even pre-COVID, I launched a number of online courses. So many people joined. Over 100 people bought those courses. I had about maybe 5, 6, 7 courses. Many people joined those courses. I made them very low cost. They were 5,000 naira each, and people were joining it. It is possible to make money at this time. And that is the reason I'm giving this example right now. Now I've talked about saving for a rainy day. I've put here evidence of wealth because it has been said by many renowned people that the true test of your wealth is knowing that you can cope when there's adversity. How long can you last if there's a problem? Have you saved enough for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months? How long can you cope? It is recommended that we should be able to cope for at least 6 months in the case of an emergency and maybe somebody loses their job. So it's important that we do that. It's also important, this one I spoke about it at APEN, when I spoke at APEN, Association of Private School Educators of Nigeria last year, that the brand of the teacher is very, very important. Very, very important. And we cannot be emotional about the brand of the teacher. Even I that I'm talking, I'm guilty of being emotional. So when I saw I saw the flyer and I saw crying teacher, I wrote a note to Miss Didiolu, Mrs. Adekobe. I wrote a short note to her. Because when I saw that, I actually put on my timeline that who knows this teacher? Because the first thing I wanted to do was, let me try and help in any small way. But as time went on, I couldn't get any contact. Besides, many people were pushing it out that who is the teacher. He's probably a very, very rich teacher now. I don't know what the situation is right now because people wanted to help. But what was that? That was emotion. And when I reflected and I said to myself, you know what? A system cannot be run by emotions. As difficult as it is, a system cannot be run by emotions. We must make sure that we run it as a business. We must make sure that we run even our brand as a business, because whatever digital footprints that we leave behind, already the teachers are struggling with our brand. They don't believe that we are good enough. They don't believe, they just think we're not good enough. So our brand is very, very important. And whatever it is that we tag ourselves as, when we're in school, if they say somebody was weeing, they will say atole, we, or cry, or something. They will just tag you and it stays with you for life. Our children will see, our grandchildren will see it. They would describe us as a profession by the things that we do online. So we need to be careful that we don't let emotions get the best of us. We need 21st century skills. I want to talk about 4 of those 21st century skills before I start listing what people can do at this time. Those 21st century skills, we have communication, we have critical thinking, we have creativity, and we have, what have I not mentioned? Critical thinking, communication, creativity, and collaboration. Yeah, those are the 21st century skills that we really need at this time. So when all this was happening, I said to myself, I don't like to be making noise because it looks as if everybody is just making noise online. We are claiming that we want to collaborate, but really everybody wants to shine in one place or the other. But the thing is that, do we have the true love for our teachers? How are we really trying to help? So what first thing I did was try and reach out to teachers in my circle of influence, and then we launched the Posh Teacher Academy. And if you notice, I've not really made noise about it, but what are we doing? Trying to upskill, trying to give digital skills to teachers so that they can earn money at this time. I created courses on my YouTube channel. We have how to be a virtual assistant and things you can do as a virtual assistant. The video is on my YouTube channel. You can watch it and find out the things and the sites that you can go on. Put your CV there, put your proposal there, and tell them the things that you can do, and you work from your house. What you just need is time and data. That is what you need of technology. That is what you need at this time. So you can watch that video on the channel if you're interested in that. So our brand is very, very important. We must protect our brand and be careful with our digital footprints. Let's not be emotional about the things that we are doing. So how about learning some graphic design? Graphic design is selling so much. Graphic design is selling. So I keep telling this story, because you find that a lot of people are creating graphics, they're having meetings, virtual meetings are the thing now. Virtual meetings. If you create, if you see somebody create a piece of graphic work, and you have learned it, by the way, you've learned it and you feel I can do better than this. This is not really, because sometimes I see some graphic work and I'm like, at least I don't even represent the person's brand. It's not even nice at all. As you can see this beautiful graphic in front of you, I did it myself. Nobody did it for me. Many of the graphic work you see online, I did it myself. And if it's my admin that did it, I trained him to do it as well. He's even getting better than me at this point. If I have to give people this graphic work to do at a time, they will be charging me a lot of money. Now, to get this sort of thing, and people have done it to me as well, they will create a piece of graphic work and say, oh, Miss Ronge Posh, Queen Posh, here we go. I've done this thing for you. Somebody even redid our logo for us at Le Poche, but the logo, it was not as nice as our current logo. And I said, thank you so much. And people will do things, and I will just say, okay, take, this is one small thing I can give you. I can't really afford it. It looks nicer than our own. But the point is, you can approach people. That 21st century skill that you need is communication. And you have to have the guts at this time to say, this is what I've created. Can I create 10 graphics for you for the next few webinars you're going to have? How about to advertise your school? Can I be a social media manager for your school? What is it? You have to be able to approach people. And in doing so, you must also be social. You must continue to build your network at this time. I believe that if we can think critically and leverage on technology and the skills that we pick up when it comes to technology, we will go a long way in monetizing. Because what is important now is not to give fish, but to teach people how to fish. Next, we have animation. A lot of school went crazy about animation at this time. They want to animate, but they don't know how to do it. They're outsourcing it. And I know a girl that I coached once. She started doing animation. She put animation courses that she was training people at 1K. On that, by the time I saw her group, I joined it for support. 1K. She had about 63 people on that animation course. 63 people is what? 63,000. With that course, we did the animation course for like 2 or 3 days, and that was it. She had made her money because she learned one skill. Okay, she has learned that skill. How about if you now begin to check on Google, where are the schools? Let me approach them. Do an animation, do a piece of work already and say, I've done this. Put your logo, if you know how to do graphic again, put your logo on it and say, oh, this is how to teach numeracy, this is how to teach cultural or whatever topic you want to teach. And say, I can do these videos, I can do 5 for you for X amount of money. Some schools will jump at it because they don't have teachers that have those skills at the moment. And you told them, I'm not working for you part-time, full-time. If you don't want it, I can work for you part-time. And imagine getting clients from different angles and different places. Then you begin to get money and you don't have to leave your job as a teacher. Okay, we move on. How about cleaning up your CV and updating your computer skills so you can pitch yourself as a virtual assistant? Like I said, I already done a video about being a virtual assistant because it will take some time. That video is about 40 minutes long, which has become quite popular. Virtual assistant, home and abroad. There are sites like Fiverr, for example, that you can go on and you can do work for people, even if it's editing, proofreading, transcription, all sorts of things that you can do there as a virtual assistant. You can pitch yourself. You can even approach schools and school managers at this time and say, what is it I can do for you as a virtual assistant at this time? I can take your calls. And the thing is, it's credibility. That is why you have to be visible. That's why you have to be networking, so that you can go and meet Mrs. Adekogbe, for example, and say, Mrs. Adekogbe, can you help me tell them your friends, if they are looking for a better, I can take their calls for them at this time. I can do X, Y, and Z as an administrator at this time for the school. Do they need to do policies, all these guidelines? Do they need to create, do I need them, I can do graphic work to tell them that they are COVID-19 compliant in their school, they follow the guidelines, so they are wearing face masks and all those sort of things. You can use your creativity to create things at this time and sell to schools at this time. Next, we move on. How about learning digital marketing and working for smaller organizations that need social media awareness? Many schools need social media awareness. We know that because this COVID-19, we are not even hearing about some schools anymore because we don't know who they are, because they're not online, because everybody has moved online now, because that's the way we can communicate. So how about learning social media management plus your graphic work to different extents, as much as you can learn, because these are just, something like this is just a very basic thing. How about learning it and then you start doing social media management, posting for them, writing for them, content creation for the schools? You can do that. Schools need it at this time. And just tell them, I'm not working for you full time, maybe 3 days a week or 5 days, whatever you agree. I will post this number of things for you. I will market for you and things like that. How about website development? You can help them. Even if it's templates that you use, like Wix.com, Wix.com, you can use it to create websites for smaller schools that need visibility at this time. So you can be their own brand visibility manager and you're not leaving your job. But I must stress here that it's smaller organizations that would need that. There's some schools that will not take, we need real professionals at this time. But schools that are up and coming, you can help them to have more digital footprint, open Twitter accounts for them, open Instagram account, Facebook page. You can do all that for a set amount of money at this time. So it's very, very important that you learn those and emphasize on those digital skills at this time. How about learning to make soap, disinfectants, hand sanitizers? I heard that is really, really moving. And it has levels as well, different levels, because people want to send their children to schools with sanitizers. Go to the supermarket, they're very, very expensive. But if you make it locally, you can bring down the price of things like that at this time. So it's really, really flying. So you can think of that, and you can even collaborate with people. You don't have to do everything alone. But the challenge, and that is why we're talking on Saturday, which is tomorrow at 12:30, about collaboration, because a lot of people, especially in the education sector, they are not collaborating. They don't want to collaborate, and they want to be chiming alone. So some schools would probably have made it if there was collaboration. But because everybody wants to stand alone, because there's trust, there's the mistrust, there's corruption in the country, lawyers have a price tag and things like that. We'll be talking all about that tomorrow at 12:30 on my channel. We are not collaborating, and that's why we are sinking. But if we are collaborating, sharing resources, one teacher is teaching online, maybe 2 schools, 3 schools at the same time, you just set the period and the duration at a set time. Won't you save on money at this time? I think we will. Next, we move on to setting up an online group. This also requires that 21st century skill I've been going on about, which is collaboration. If you set up an online group, maybe on Telegram or WhatsApp, strictly for sales, an online marketplace, you can collaborate. Make reference to it being for teachers, so services provided by teachers. It has to look good. The graphic work has to look good. It's not one rubbish group that everybody goes to come in and dump in anything there like we normally have. There's so many groups that people just dump all sorts of things on there. So you can say, okay, maybe a car wash for provided by teachers during the COVID, or a marketplace that we are selling meat, goat meat or whatever, strictly by teachers, for teachers, to schools, to schools that you share with their parents. If they want to buy, you deliver at home. You just have to be as creative as you possibly can. But if you have that central hub, that online group that somebody sets, and you just make it, put emphasis on it. Teachers are trying to monetize. You put it there. We're not going to beg for tokens. We're going to be creative. I'm going to make money, and begin to share it. Have one graphic work, and if we collaborate, you can even have one logo to say teachers during COVID, or whatever it is that you want to call it. I believe that it's possible, and I still believe that it's not too late to do something like that. So you must be great at something. So I've talked about creating an ebook. Professor has also talked about this. Creating digital content. We are all content creators, and we hold so much content as educators, as teachers. We hold so much content. So you can do all those books. Some people have even approached me with all those books. Some of them are as cheap as 500 naira. Somebody will want to buy. Just package it nicely. How to create ebooks. You can also learn all those things online. And it doesn't have to be 40 pages. It can just be 5 pages, 10 pages. Phonic sounds. What is it that is key in your area? And then you make it look nice and glossy, and then you sell it. Somebody is going to buy it. Somebody is going to buy it. And you don't need to go and be pitching to people that are working for your school, for example, and discourage people from taking services of your school, because that's another thing that I've heard about this time. From teachers. So good behavior is very, very important, because we reap what we sow. Deliveries are also fast moving now, because people don't want to move around. The third mainland bridge, there's a challenge there at the moment, because they are refurbishing or renovating or reconstructing, fixing, whatever it is that they're doing at this time. So deliveries, if you collaborate with a bike rider, and there are so many, they just need a license. Hey, it's not very difficult to get. You collaborate with them and be doing deliveries. Again, graphic work online, you put it out there, delivery. What do you want to deliver? I will help you. Call companies and say you are doing a delivery service for them. Call them, food people, delivering, okay, from mile 12 to maybe Chevron, for example. That is a long stretch, but on a bike, I don't know how the logistics are going to be, but what I'm trying to say is that you can do a delivery service, whether it's across the state or in your local area. A delivery service is still something that you can do. What do you think? Next, I'm going to talk about reselling of food. So people are reselling food. I did a survey to find out how teachers are coping, and I will show you at the end of this this presentation, which I'll round up within the next 2-3 minutes. I will show you the survey. I surveyed about 100 teachers to find out how they are coping at this time. How are they coping at this time? And a lot of them have been reselling a lot of food stuff, because people have to eat. I call it the belly economy. It was utmost importance. People are selling crayfish, people are selling noodles, people are selling pap. And the thing is, it is said that it's not like there are no opportunities, but there's also pride. Sometimes people cannot are too proud to pick up certain roles. There was a time that I used to sell popcorn, I used to sell cake when I was in university. It's all about packaging. How do you package? When I used to sell cake and I was in university there, I would make the cakes. I bought a sealer, I would seal it nicely, and I would even put a label, all printed at home. It looks so good. So it's how you package it. If you package it like a Rasbush person, maybe it's Rasbush people that will patronize you and then you'll be feeling ashamed. Because I know that there was a teacher that was working at one of these gambling place. I don't want to call the name of the company. And then he closed in the morning and he was going home and saw a student passing by and he was ashamed and he said he's never going to go to that job anymore. There is dignity in labor. Which job do you want to do? Which job are you ashamed to do? That's just it. It's how you package it. There's another lady on my timeline that sells pap. If you see the way she presents the pap in beautiful bowls and stuff like that, you won't even know that it's pap again. You think, it's something really different. So you just have to be creative about the things that you are selling at this time. Hairstyling, drop shipping as well. Drop shipping, you just get, depending on how much income you have, you can get things delivered here, you pick it up, and then you resell it put your profit on it. It's happening. You can sell on GG, sell online. Just connect with them, and then you sell. And then also, obviously, in your own community as well, you can sell products. You can transcribe. I've talked about things like that already. On that video I did on my YouTube channel, I put the links here. I don't have them all at the top of my head. Pastries, middleman for sales of mask and shield. Schools are looking for masks and shields at this time. Somebody sent me an email, and they had somebody wearing a mask with the Porsche logo on it. I didn't give them, I don't even know who they are. When I look at it, it looks so good. I wanted to buy it. It's creativity at this time. We must be creative. That was awesome. If we didn't already have an alternative at that time, I would definitely have taken up the service if the price was right. Including the face shield, you can put a logo on it, and you can, even if you're not selling it, you can be a middleman. Tell the person that is selling it that I will help you find customers. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of communication skills, networking skills. And as I say, to survive in the 21st century, you need those skills because they are very, very, very important. So I've come to the end of the presentation, and I thank you all for taking time to listen. If I can find quickly the survey, I'll just scroll to show you what the survey was saying. Let me see if I find it. Now my whole screen is there for the world to see. So I'm going to share that this is it. No. Okay. So these are some of the things that people have been doing to cope at this time. So people are saying it's not been easy. Some people did a program. I was teaching online, saving fairly well. Virtual classes is just God's doing. I've been able to cope through online classes. I've been doing some therapy. Somebody said they're coping nicely. It's not been easy, but I'm coping and learning to adjust to the new normal. So you can see some people are selling fabrics. Some people said they're selling roadside noodles. I'm coping through online teaching. Been able to sustain myself from side businesses, skills which are learned. They've monetized their skills. Home lesson, I don't recommend it because of the COVID. I don't. Managing myself. I've been positive minded. It's not been easy through assistance from friends and families. But yeah, it's good to have friends and family, but we must leverage. Somebody said Zobo. Somebody said salary was paid 70%. Somebody's trying to survive, family support, and all sorts of things that we have here, learning and teaching, small business. I'm selling e-notes and engaging in small farming, all by God's grace, coping well. I've seen better days. It's been, so all these people that are in the Posh Academy now, they are learning digital skills. They are learning to present themselves online, even right down to their CV, getting new jobs, upskilling themselves. So for those that want to join the Posh Academy, it's there. It's not something I'm going to be flashing up and down. It's just my own contribution to the society at large at the moment. So these are the things that are happening at this time. And our prayer is that, where's my, I stop sharing my screen. Can you see my face now, ma'am? Am I back online? Yeah. So my prayer is that we are able to make it at this time. We are able to have digital skills and leverage on whatever it is that we are going to have to do. Let's just fish. Let's fish and let's not rely on fish at this time. We will all make it to the other side by the grace of God. So I thank you so much for listening, for joining me. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful. I'm very, very
Mm.
happy for the opportunity to be able to share and do my bit again for the people in our circle of influence. So God bless you, ma. Well done, Ekusha, ma. Thanks for all that you do. I love you so much. You know that already. Anyway, thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ronka Posh. This is